There's a fight brewing in France and it's Ninja Week in the US. Good morning everyone and welcome back to Morning Markets here at True Potential. Two major events in the week ahead which will likely dominate the news, but both may pass with little fanfare. First of all, there is a fight brewing in the French Parliament today as the country goes to vote in Parliament on next year's social security budget. Now, with no overall majority for the government are relying on votes from opposition parties to help this austerity-like budget pass. The far-right Front National have indicated that they will not vote in favour unless there are major concessions in their favour. That means fewer tax rises for the electorate. So as it stands, that is set to fail later today. If that is the case, it may be required that France has a new Prime Minister appointed to reopen negotiations with opposition parties. The worst case scenario is a dissolution of Parliament and an early election in 2025 when the electorate would be faced with just two choices, austerity or the far right. So the country's in a difficult spot at a time when inflation is at zero. So one thing that is guaranteed in 2025 is many more interest rate cuts from the ECB. And it's likely to see the deposit rate there fall from about 3.25% today towards 2%. Now elsewhere in the US, it's Ninja Week. It's all about jobs, jobs, jobs. We'll end the week with the non-farm payrolls print, where the market expects something around about 200,000. So largely in line and consistent with strong growth. We also have the ISM surveys for both manufacturing and services, which are likely to show this continuing theme of US exceptionalism, which we discussed in last week's Week in Review, and that is the US economy continuing to grow whilst other G7 nations are experiencing near zero growth. We also have the JOLTS data, so this jobs survey is likely to show that disinflation will remain a key theme for 2025. Job vacancies are declining, such that it's likely to feed through into slower and weaker pay awards next year. And then finally, the ADP, a sort of random survey which comes out on a Thursday. It's likely to get a brief moment in the sun, but attention will quickly turn to the non-farm payrolls print on the Friday. So that's the Ninja Week for jobs. There's plenty of data in the US in particular, which is going to indicate the economy continues to grow robustly there. We also have Federal Reserve Chairman Jay Powell speaking towards the end of the week, just before the committee goes into what's a normal blackout period before their official Monetary Policy Committee meeting. Slightly unusual, he has a meeting or a speech scheduled for this week because there's actually nothing where he really needs to comment on. Markets aren't expecting much from the Federal Reserve Monetary Policy Committee this month. They're not expecting any action. So it'll be interesting to see what his comments are. He may actually just comment on the overall strength of the economy and that everything remains on track for further disinflation pressures next year and for further interest rate cuts. So that's all today. Please take care and join us tomorrow where we'll update you on the French vote in Parliament. Thank you.
This video is not a recommendation or personal financial advice. With investing, your capital is at risk. Investments can fluctuate in value and you may get back less than you invest.